Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds, welcoming you back to Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator, the Priest DLC. It will probably be the final episode, and unfortunately this is not a live episode. It appears my internet service provider has decided that, despite the tenets of the contract I have with it, it will not be providing me with the speeds that I require in order to be able to broadcast live, despite the fact that I am paying for them. So I will be going with another internet service provider in short order to try to rectify this. In the meantime, I apologize for the inconvenience. Now, we're pretty much zeroing in on the end of the DLC. We've got to only have two more lores that we have to get, the level 10 Forge and the level 10 Grail. Now, as James Ellsbury pointed out in the comments in the previous episode, there is a way I could do that right now. See, if I put in the Grail and... whoops, no, the other way around. My apologies. I put in the Heart and then I put in the Grail, we'll have the subverting of the lore. Now, I went over subversion when we went into the subverting the winter influences with the Heart one. In this case, this can be done between these two. Now, when I do the aspects and influences episodes for the Lore and Legend series, which was unlocked a little while back, the 550 mark, we'll go over into how subversion works. But yes, I could be doing that, but I do want to show you another way of doing it, because this one's actually plot related to the Priest DLC specifically. But in the meantime, we of course have the Book of Dissolution, which we're going to have to learn how to read, which we did, I believe. Do we have? Oh, there it is. By translating the August Stone. Now this one will give us our level 10 Forge one. So the first thing we want to do is to learn how to speak Deep and Dark, which means that I have to use it with Aramaic, which I got a long time ago, because that's the first, that's the best thing that that good doctor here can provide you. But yeah, I begin the translation of the bowl. Now, there may sound odd to translate a bowl, but in fact, most inscriptions of the earliest forms of human civilization are on pottery. They're not on walls or books or anything, because they didn't make paper. The only thing they could make is clay. So that's how they got recorded. And sometimes it's tablets, but a lot of times if they were doing something artistic or religious in nature, they would use it on ritual instruments like a bowl. Anyway, so we'll be doing that. In the meantime, I did also off screen work at the level 8 secret histories, simply because that will allow us to be able to access the Popularized Citadel, which is absolutely essential if you're doing anything Grail related, because it's the first one that will give you a bunch of Grail lore. We'll go over it when we get to it, but in the meantime, keep in mind that in game this is considered to be Dracula's castle. Yeah, that Dracula, which is kind of weird in the real world, because the castle known as Castle Dracula was never actually lived in by Vlad Tepes. It's a whole thing on its own. But in the meantime, while we're studying that particular lore, we will want to be heading over to Popularized Citadel. Now, in order to do that, we pop in the usual cache, of course. Okay. And the thing is that I know what we're going to need in order to go in, because I've done this a bunch of times. But we're going to be doing a hidden door, which is going to require Forge or knock, and I prefer to use Forge, simply because I have an extra person in case something goes wrong. But the Valeria's vault will stay hidden well, which indicates it's a hidden door. And if the stories are true, his victims may not rest peacefully in the dark behind the Citadel's walls, which means, of course, you'll be dealing with the restless dead. Now, I could summon a Maid in the Mirror to handle this, but since I've got, bunches of people with the edge lore that will be able to, or edge influence that will be able to take care of the dead, I'm not that concerned. I don't usually send, like I said, the winter people to do it, who could use necromantic arts to control the dead, because I only have 2 of them, and I have 3 of the edge people, which means that one of you is disposable, because I can always get 10 with only 2 people. In any case, let's get them started. Now, in the meantime, don't forget, we'll have to have one of our most precious heart followers in order to be able to grab that notoriety, so we don't have to worry about these guys. Yeesh. Anyways, in the meantime, of course, we'll probably just, work our day job, as you do. Now, I'm not going to diving in to get any additional lore for the Peacock's Gate anymore at this point, because I've got pretty much everything I need. What we're going to start having to do is preaching, though, which is going to be interesting, as that can actually produce notoriety. Now, again, we haven't been using this card for the entire game, so we'll get back to it in just a moment. But for now, I just always like to have 1 vitality rolling around in case we get the Season of Sickness popping up down here. Yeah, I should probably finish that out, but I'm not sure I'm ever going to use these things again. All right. So in the meantime, we'll just continue doing that. Oh, right. I think I'm secure enough in my caffeine content that I'm probably able to do this at fast forward. Yep, we got contentment. Boom. Getting a lot of that lately. Apparently, this is the sort of thing we like. There we go. Okay, the exhibition continues. We will toss in, since we need edge lore, we'll toss in Rose. There you go. My 5th favorite, by the way, of the cultists. The 4th being Isabet. I just like that look on her. You know what I mean? Alright, cool. We got the vitality up and going, but now let's get back to doing our actual preaching in an abandoned warehouse. But if you know anything about crazy cults in the cities, you know, doing a speech inside of an abandoned warehouse is really not that unusual. In any case, so yeah, we're going to start now just using reason. Now I can use doctrine, which would allow me to use lore, but again, that can generate notoriety, and fervor is something I can only generate through preaching. So let's get the street preacher routine going. Crazy dude on a bench, sorry, a box somewhere, screaming about how the gods are coming to destroy us all. These dead. Oops. The strength is considerable. Eldritch, get your ass in there. Strength is matchless. So yeah, they're fighting vampires, by the way. All right, cool. We have the August Stone, which means that this is not a bowl. Oh wait, no, this is our translation of that. Oh, this is awesome. Wait, okay, so I guess we go in. Yeah, there we go. Manadric is the language of Gnostic sect, and their most is part of Persia. There's that Gnosticism again. It's all over this series. Deep Manadric remains the language of a sect within that sect. So it's like the secret cult. But once it was spoken by adepts, anyways. Just let's get our headspace where we need it to be, okay? Don't really care as to why. Okay. Prepare my sermon with care. Okay. Oh, good. We killed the vampires. They probably enjoyed doing that. And what are we looking at? Dread Trap and more Dread Trap. So just avoid dread. All right, cool. The congregation listens closely. I have shared no secret doctrine today. So basically, the crazy guy preaching managed to fill his cap with some funds. In any case, getting the fervor usually is going to require us doing lore. But again, suppose we're lucky. I don't want to generate 2 notorieties simultaneously because they can be difficult to get with. I suppose I could do the change of address since I've got the unattended church to disappear into, and if I really become desperate, I can probably do the Forgotten Mithram to pick up another sanctuary to run to. But we're going to just try to play it by the spam at this point. God, I've forgotten I tore out half my brain last episode. Alright. Keep it going. Alright. So now we have the Deep Manadric language card. We're going to take this book and translate it into English. Irony is that the contract you could get by that, by the way. Oh, right. Dude, you are disposable pawn number 1. Good work. I've never bothered to learn your name. I may have to kill you later. Okay. This is just how it goes. And boom. What we're doing now. Hidden door without lantern or knock. Ooh, lantern or knock. Uh-oh, put in the wrong one. Forge. Oof, getting a little complacent there. Okay, so that gives us a 70% chance with the 5 lantern, but I goofed up. It's the warded door that has forge. I should have just jumped on the knock and been done with it if I wasn't sure. I did not, however, so we're all paying for my lack. Okay, so yeah. Again, we're just making money by preaching like a mad dog on the streets of London. Okay, so spam this. We will risk putting lore in, by the way, which will be the highest lore I think we're going to get is... Yeah, we've got 10 across the board. I'll be preaching knock. I will probably definitely get the Suppression Bureau on my butt if I do that. But, you know, we need that fervor. We need it badly. Okay. Boom. Go for it. Okay. Now, reread the damn thing. And I'll put you over the other languages. Okie dokie. There you go. I think that's... That's all of them, isn't it? We got 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. Ah, I know how to get that, though. Okay, deep breath. Okay, so... Right. Everything's pretty much in order at the moment. Not used to that. Alright, we're still going... Oh, logistical difficulties. We failed. That's going to cause us that fund we just generated, but we can live with that. Overconfidence is a slow but insidious killer. Okay, good. We're good for about 120 seconds. I'm still generating money, but I still need to get that darn fervor, which, you know, my people are like, we've heard this all before. Been preaching at us for like 2 years now. Okay. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Do know actually a few Bible quotes. Alright, Book of Dissolution, Earlier House of the Sun. Wait, we're not doing the Forbidden Book Tour at the moment. Oh, and we have this one where the rite in which we can kill a person. Now, the thing is, obviously we're not using my followers for it, but occasionally using hired goons or spirits to destroy them. In fact, if you want to... There's a trick I'll do later, where you can actually have a spirit who's about to outrun to destroy them with this ritual to get the same spirit back again. Alright, who navigates? Okay, so we're doing the lantern thing. Okay, so that'll bring us to 90% chance of getting it right this time. Hang on, hit the microphone. Now the question is, what do we want to study at this time? Not sure I've got anything I really need to study. It's weird, usually I've been spamming the that one forever. Okay, so we just keep going. Alright, I still also have the bookstore if I want to use that for a change of location. But if we manage to break through this, we'll be able to drop it on so we can get the... There, did we get it? Fine, yes. Once we get to a few seconds before this one ends, I will pop in the... Ooh. Yep, there we go. It's going to be a race. We'll pop in the Heart Cultist in order to be able to do so. 3 again, which means we definitely did not get the Fervor. There you go. Go talk to the detective about how it's all just a terrible misunderstanding. Alright, so... Again, we can't risk it, so keep going. At least, we're making 60 seconds to make one fund, by the way, is exactly how much we spend, so we're not actually making money at this. All right, treasures lie before us. Here we go. Come on, faster, faster, faster. Could have an issue here, especially if this one ends. Well, we're going to see in a second which one grabs first, the detective or our person. And it will be... Come on, come on, come on. Ah, the detective. That's going to cause us issues, of course, because we're going to get a decent detective. Now, a couple things. One, we get the 8-point... The Vivaldi's Castle Dracula, let's call it that, gives us the 8-point tool for heart. Always good to have the higher level tools. The Gospel of Zacharias, which is one we're actually going to have to look at, because it's got a very interesting scenario. Now we're going to actually have to deal with one of the... goddamn hunters. Well, you know, wouldn't be the same, he says, but again, the Book of Thrones is going to, you see by the color, will indicate that we're going to be getting secret history from it, but it's the 66 Enticements, 7 Torments, which is actually kind of fun. And the Catalog of Uncharted Pleasures. These two we're going to not, obviously, by the color and by their title, are going to be Grail lore. So, first thing we need to do is translate this. Now, one of them is Fusin, which, of course, we have, which is always kind of interesting. But this one is a language we don't have. Phrygian. Somebody's going to remind me I can't pronounce words in the comments. Phrygian. Phrygian. Phi language. Let's call it that. Alright, so it means that I can always just go ahead and get this one down, but I kind of really like this one as well. And the Dark Gentleman is the author of this one. You have to admit that's a cool name for a pseudonym. Okay, so yeah, we got an issue. An adversary is on our butt, which means that right now there really isn't any reason not to be kind of weird, but in other words, generating as much mystique as we want so these guys can be annoying somewhere else. But in the meantime, this means that we're going to have trouble. We're going to do this. Now, this also means that they're not going to be able to grab... Oh, restlessness, I need that. We're not going to be able to grab anything that we do. So let's have us a really interesting sermon on the secret doctrine. At the same time, Let's get a glimmering, because I kind of need those. All right, whoops. All right, so at the moment. Let's put in reason, and let's put in level 10 knock lore. I will speak to their souls. If I speak with precision, their souls may answer me. Using suitable doctrine, the reason preaching was likely to create fervor. Now, this will probably be, remember, this one is one that requires knowledge. That's a pretty good indicator, by the way, that you're going to get one that works well with reason. Let's hope. Otherwise, actually, we know for a fact that the most reasoned one is Lantern, because, you know, it's Lantern right there. So let's play the odds here in this one, okay? Boom. Let's speak blasphemy in the streets. It's kind of what I sometimes do for fun. Anyways, let's go. All right, so who do we have? We have Connie Lee, who is the hardest one. Oh, boy. Connie, I can drive you mad, though, I believe. Mystic? I don't know if I really want to have a adversary at this point. Not interested in recruiting her. She's also nearly freaking impossible to kill, which is a problem. I'll generate notoriety every time I try to kill her. In the meantime, let's play it safe. I'm going to try to get that first lock scar in place. I won't say you failed me. The system failed me. Society. Oh well. Anyways, so Phrygian and restlessness. Let's talk about let's talk about that, how it works together in this one. In the meantime, the Gospel of Zacharias is something I do want to translate once we get this clear for the sentimental literature. That's just in case we get fervor. All right, there's the restlessness. Restlessness has got a lot of applications in this game. All right, boom. Exaltation. Sometimes my words and those I have borrowed move my congregation beyond concentration to exaltation. Now what it's doing is it's looking for society. Boom. Now let's see if we manage to get, this might manage to get us a temporary follower as one of the congregation. In the meantime, we have this, and funds. No exaltation. There it is. Fervor. We can do this now. Fervor is, of course, only got 180 seconds, but I do have the Glimmering, which is what I want, because this will be the first lock scar. Now, in order to win the game, we need to have 7 lock scars. Each lock scar will consume 1 health, which is why I have 8 health cards, and I will generate another one by burning off my passion, or maybe one of the reasons, that bit. But we also have to learn how to speak Phrygian, I think. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong. Anyways, okay, so in order to do that, of course, we've got an influence. We've got a, wrong one. We've got an influence. We've got restlessness. There it is. We've got 8 Grail, and we have one of the Summoner Twins. That's going to give us the name emanation of the Red Grail, which is one of the major summonings, which require 5 knock, which we got there, 10 Grail, but the restlessness also gives us the required 2, here if you get a closer look at it, the 2 forge, because you require 10 Grail, 2 forge, and 5 that. So therefore restlessness gives us the 2 points we need with the 8 points of Grail lore to fill that requirement of 10 and the 2 forge. Like I said, restlessness is really interesting. When you can, don't forget, just by its very nature, you can use it to do the basic initiation for 5 cults: Heart Cult, Grail Cult, Forge Cult, Lantern Cult, and Moth Cult. Always something new this game. Anyways, fervor will come in a moment, but it will also turn to dread if I'm not careful. So in order to do that, just in case, because we never actually know, just because this is going to be 60 seconds before we can use that work card to get the summoning up and going. And we're going to see if we get a temporary follower, who I may in fact imprison to make a sacrifice later on. Not that I have to, I just feel like the Dark Gods like blood. And boom, there we go. Okay, we've got this. We have an erratic worshiper. Sometimes fervor drives lay people to devote themselves to uncommon duties. When this one's enthusiasm phase, they return to the congregation. So they have they have a 1 edge. It's always interesting that they're a really terrible follower. Devotee is all-consuming, but soon it may fade and they question what they were doing. Yeah, we've got somebody who's not thinking clearly, and we're going to take advantage of them. Notoriety, unfortunately, and funds. Now, the notoriety we're going to have to deal with in the usual way. We're not... All right. Connie. All right, so... And the erratic worshiper. So, yeah, I'm actually curious if I'm going to look at the talk thing in a moment to see if I can turn them into a prisoner, which of course I can sacrifice or use as an ingredient in a ritual, which is always fun. Look, your spare parts. I mean, when the crazy preacher pushes you on the altar and gets out the knife, you need to be thinking very carefully about your life choices. Okay, sickness, which basically means... It's going to take 60 seconds, and I don't want to do that. I'll just spend cash on it. Boom. All right, so she's kept the fervor going for us, which is good. At the same time, we have him. Now, let me take the 0.4 seconds for the load here. All right. Isam, the second thirsty, change me harder. Now my turn. This is not somebody you want out of the summoning circle. He the literal personification of all desire from sexuality to bloodlust. No. And the thing is, you can actually romance him in the game, and we will not be going over that in this particular run. But what you can do with him is he's a tutor. He'll still be for region if I already have Greek, and I have Greek right there. So boom. He's staying in that summoning circle and teaching me how to read. That's it. I ain't doing anything else with this guy. In the meantime, where are we? You get rid of that notoriety. I won't say you failed me, but frankly, I just cycle through you guys anyways. You do that. If we come to the point, nope, should be safe. If he fails, I'll use the change of address in order to get rid of it. But in the meantime, don't fail me, okay? Need that notoriety back. So, lock scar. All right. So first thing we do is we put the ability of health to be a threshold. St. Agnes has drawn me here. Not exactly the best place in the warehouse, but to where I might fulfill my potential, not merely to open doors and become myself a door. Add lore of at least 10th level. We're going to be adding the 10 level of lore, a moth, and we add the influence that goes with it, glimmering. Wait, oh, fervor, silly me. Fervor goes in there to be a threshold. Interesting. Never mind. I seem to have forgot. Bleh. It's been a little bit, but at least I managed to get this to work right. My people stand before me, voices raised in song, faces upraised aflame. There are doors that few ever see, fewer ever open. If I am willing to suffer the consequences, I might someday become one of those doors, for my congregation shall open. Knock, and you shall be opened. Ew. This is going to be like some Cenobite shit, isn't it? All right, hit it. There we go. The glimmering yearning. Restlessness? Oh, I screwed this one up. I am so sorry. I was supposed to have... Oh, I gotta look at my... Anyways, trying to do this by memory is not smart. Let me get my notes back up. Okay, so... Oh, God, I thought moth required glimmering. According to my notes, I didn't realize it was restlessness. Alright, this one's gonna fail. I apologize on that. But... because we're not going to have restlessness in the next one. We're going to have sickness. And I doubt we're going to randomly generate it because it's pretty uncommon. But we'll see what happens. All right, so. Connie's onto us. Connie's onto us. All right, get that change of address ready to go. Just in case. All right, boom. There we go. Okay, to be a threshold, satisfied with my there's but divine spark is abroad. To create the lock scar, you need restlessness, at least 10th level lore, and particular discipline or body. You have to only have one at each type of scar. Did this change? Oh God, we injured ourselves. On the other hand, injury is one of the other ones. Edge. I might be able to pull this off if we do this right. Edge. Tree. Ability health. Doctrine? Fervor. We consumed it, didn't we? Oh, gods, I got to do this all over again. I apologize. Again, I will do the skippy skip part if I have to. There's the remembrance. Okay, so... where's the creed? Oops. It's over here. And we're not going to be able to do it in time, unfortunately. The injury... let's see, I've got 150 seconds to be able to do this. I don't know if I can generate another fervor. Might happen over there. Got the region at least. Alright, so begin translating that one. You can stay there. Just stay there. Anything else I can do with you. Restlessness. Okay, we're going to be able to pull it off this time, hopefully. And should I cure the injury? Probably. Although I really... Okay, if we hit the fervor, we hit that, and they want restlessness, it'll be... Nope. Always play to the role you know. We're going to have to probably... No, not that. We're not going to get drunk. Let's heal this, because decrepitude is not going to help us out here at this particular point. I didn't quite have all of this thought out as much as I hoped it would be. And should really get that vitality thing going. Used to be drowning in the stuff. Okay. Let's get rid of that before Connie can see it. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed. And boom, it's gone. Good. And Mystique. Well, it's not the end of the world. We didn't get position, but we do have the restlessness, but I don't have the fervor. Okay, in that case, I need you. Hang on. To keep that going. In the meantime, Connie can grab the Mystique. I don't care. You know, I guess she needs something to do with her time. Because God's know. The thing is, Connie, by the way, just to let you know, Connie runs the Bureau. She's an heiress, suffragette, and adventurer. She's recently put her quixotic enthusiasm and considerable wealth at the service of the Suppression Bureau. She's part of the 1%. She's the one who's secretly running the whole Bureau. And like I said, there's a official fanfic on the website that on the company website for Weather Factory that pretty much declares that, yeah, she's the one in charge. Killing her doesn't stop the Bureau, however. No, it's just unfortunate. Okay, so now I can't preach while she's looking because I'll just grab the notoriety right off the bat. I do have what I need here, and it would be very unwise for me to turn him into a sacrifice, as much as I would kind of like to do so. Okay, you did good, boy. Anyways, so let's see where we're going from here. Vitality, I'll need that for the affliction, and this. I'll need to risk getting notoriety in order to get the fervor again. And again, I may just skip ahead, so hang on. Okay, so as you may notice, I'm currently trying to get another fervor up for the next Lockscar, but I did translate the Gospel of Zacharias. This is, like I said, not important to actually win the game, it is important to the theme. An extremely heterodox, we'll go over what that means later, account of the Nazarene Messiah and his works. Notice they're not actually referring to him by name, because this may not be the same individual. There are a number of messiahs, actually, that were and there during that time. A lot of their stories got combined together into a singular narrative of Jesus, describing his ascension to the mansis through the opening of his body. Now, does that sound familiar? Let's see what we have to the book has to say. 7 were the wounds of his body. Oh, a little closer. 7 the doors of the house. 7 the lesser aspects of the hours. And knock the aspect for all. From mother of ants is the mother of salvation. Now, I actually think that mother of ants is from a mistranslation in universe. And it's mother of serpents, because she's usually portrayed as having a serpent. And if you know anything about pre-Christian mythos, the Dark Mother is usually portrayed as bearing a serpent for the power of primordial creation. We'll go over that someday, but we're going to read the gospel so we can get to the end text. But yes, this is saying that the Jesus, or the Messiah, technically here, literally is going to go through the same thing that we're going to go through. That's what he went through the same thing that we're going to go through. Essentially, he had those wounds in his body, you know, the ones usually assumed as stigmata, were actually ones inflicted in the same ritual here, in order to be able to ascend to godhood. Which means that the entire Catholic / Anglican / Christian church in this particular universe has been hiding that secret. Oh, Dan Brown kind of less shit going on here. But let's see if we can get that fervor gone. Yeah, we're keeping the restless going, but we're getting another one too. Great. Gonna have to paint at least one of these. Okay, so there's the restlessness call. There we go. All right, pop this in. We can get the fervor servant and the notoriety. But since it's going to be notoriety, I can't, let's see, fervor's in play. Use Sultrana's ability, which means I'm going to have to paint this. But I can't paint this and keep the restlessness. I mean, I'm going to have to... This is always where you have to make the hard choices. Now, this would... First, the easy choice is... Going to see if we can get rid of that fervor in time. Check this. Okay, so we're going to have the opportunity to grab it before Connie becomes active. So we will discuss the cult business, except I've already used that. But I'll be able to take this out when it's done and activate her that way. Oh gods, everything's just coming together. In the meantime, 30 seconds. We have just enough time. Maybe this might turn to dread, but I can live with that because we're going to have a second one coming down here. It's always down to timing. Let's get rid of this one restlessness and use the other restlessness as it will be fresher. So in that case, we'll be doing a standard paint because the fervor will also last that long. Let's hope I've got all these numbers right in my head because it's a lot of math. All right, boom, there's the other restlessness. Oh my god, the music's getting higher pace too. All right, here we go. I've also got another rite from this one, which is always cool. The book includes a description of a rite which can be used to raise a corpse to half-life in the memory of he who bled from the wood. So yes, this also officially is saying that Messiah is a zombie, which I have seen done in some parodies. It's actually hilarious. I personally think it's actually correct because in Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, which in the real world indicates that when Jesus came up, all of the other graveyard raised up with him and went into the town and was noted and known for and their faces were known by their loved ones. Yes, it was a zombie apocalypse, which I really want somebody to make a film about someday. You know, Jesus leading an army of the dead into the to Jerusalem. I can just see that happening. It's terrifying. Anyways, the assistant is offered and sacrificed to the mother of ants, serpents, but the mother knows healing was poison and she will be merciful, accepting the substitute of a lesser offering. Usually the experience is not reassuring for the assistant. Basically, you fake killing the guy, whoever the assistant is in this one. When we go over the grimoire, which will unlock at the oh god, the grimoire I think unlocks at 650 subscribers. We're going to go over what these rites mean and just how messed up they are. Okay, so we've got that restlessness is free. I have a level 6 knock I have no use for, but that was just to get that out. But let's go for the one that I was actually aiming for. The 7 to 26 enticement, 7 torments. The painter Niels Friedrich Meister notoriously attempted a series of paintings based on the torments. I can't actually focus on this one. By the 5th torment, the demands of the painting had grown so dire he died of blood loss. Diagrams of this text are thankfully less detailed. Oh wait, that's not the one which? Oh, we've got to translate it first, silly me. Oh, we've got the card, but I need to use it. Where is, oh, there it is. No, there it is. Yeah, the catalog of unlocked pleasures. That's the one we want. All right. Some pleasures, the formulae voluptatis attests, are so intense they can corrupt the laws of the physical world. This text catalogs some of those. Okay. Wow. You get some really strange concepts going around here. Okay. Boom. This, again, we get the dude, we get the notoriety. We pop this back in so it'll so that she'll be kind enough to grab that notoriety because we don't want Connie to do that. We got another minion temporarily. You have the restlessness in place. So the restlessness will survive just long enough, I hope. Oof, this is getting tight. Have to get rid of that one. We're going to have 2 restlessness, and then I'm going to have none, essentially. There we go. Grab it. Thank you. All right. So the that restlessness is gone. We have 7 seconds remaining. I'm not sure how long the cycle goes, but I can't sustain it. I can try to keep it in one of the slots that can go into. Where can it go? Anyways, let's try it again. Doctrine, health for the lock scar, fervor. All right, how many seconds is this going to take? Soup, and there's the restlessness. There we go. Hopefully this will work. My people stand before me. We've done this before. Let's see what the successful version looks like, though. We're going to notoriety this, aren't we? Going to probably have to change the church. We probably should be doing that anyways. It's just more thematic. Birth occurs at the juncture of pleasure and torment. So the first forbidden acts of the forge birth sparks of delight which took root in the glory or in the nowhere. Who can say? Yeah, this goes straight into the deep lore in which the forge and the Grail's union created both the physical and biological life. But they're also both female, which really gets into the old Gnostic stuff. really old Gnostic stuff. So the seeds of the flower maker were planted, and for many long years he was nothing but an unfulfilled ache. Yeah, manifestation of the glory as the flower maker, the devourer and birther of all things. Eesh. Like I said, when we get to lore, we're gonna have fun. Anyway, so that gives us the last one we need. Oh, that's the mirror. That gives us the last one we need. Boom. So we just have to make sure we get all the offerings right this time around. Please. And just in case I got it right, and I'll need the glimmering later on, I'm putting it here just to remind me. Okay. Deep breath. Forgot to see if we're going to transcend our mortality. And tell me. Yes. There we go. Notoriety gone. Let's cut into ourselves and see what happens. And... okay, one more fun. Not the bird. Boom. Congregation is satisfied by my mortification, but the divine scar's absence. Oh god, glimmering. There it is. I was right. They have to have both the restlessness and one of these things. So we're gonna have to, every time, we're basically gonna be standing by to generate a new restlessness. I mean, a new scar every time restlessness come by. And because of the beauty of editing, I can actually jump between these points because we've pretty much gotten almost everything else done at this point. But in this vision, I see our wings, and I hear the rustling as we unfurl them to the shears. Now remember, one of the aspects of the moth is the fact that the shears will cut off the wings as a form of transformation, basically from winged to mortal form, then mortal back to winged form. Our abdomens were patterned black and white like bandages, and our beaks scissor sharp. Fold us in the chrysalis and lock us in the dark. Break our eggs and steal our hair and watch for us within. This reveals to the extinction of a moth-based divine species, which is also kind of referred to in Imago. Again, lore. We'll get to it eventually. Meantime, let's see if I'm missing anything here. Don't want to get too distracted. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Oh my god, we can do the fervor again? Oh, fuck yes. And that means, however, Dorothy, you're on deck. Oh, wait, and she'll grab, and I'll transfer it over just like we did before. All right, we can keep this going, hopefully. Alright, so we've done the same thing as before, but it's only Mystique. Oh, we didn't get Fervor. Only the Erratic Worshipper. God, you people, like, just, like, snap you up, like, sacrifice you, like, you know, what's my favorite type of snack food? We'll just say Cheetos. That could activate Connie, however, I don't care that much. Just need to make sure if I need to get rid of it, I can. Alright. Oops, don't forget. She needs that to be armed. And deep breath. In the meantime, I'm grabbing some vitality just because that slot's closed and open, and I don't want to, like, yeah, there it is, the sickness. Aha! I saw you coming. And boom. Well, I'll take it, loss of Mystique, but vision of the shearing. Let's go. My congregation have waited all night in vigil. I am weak. The double wound on my back will heal. Now that's to represent where the scars of the moth-based divine angels, the now extinct ones, which, by the way, you can start repopulating in the Dancer DLC if you do the blue scar run instead of the red one. Try it out sometime. I am awake. The scar will remain. Health is converted to a scar. There are always 7 marks. You will need 7 lock scars. There's always a way that the way may be narrow. There's a moth lock scar, which, by the way, is lock scar. It is also a tool, which means I can use this as a 2-knock, 2-moth scar. When I'm threshold, the scar will answer to scissors. And we got paid for this. I want you to think about that right now. We did this in front of a crowd and we got paid for it. There literally had people throwing, change at us. The early 20th century version of PayPal, I guess. Cool. That's one. Now, we've got to see if we don't have enough fervor, so again, I will have to generate fervor, which I can probably do safely by doing another speech. Now, again, since you've already seen that, I will skip ahead unless something of interest occurs. Hang on. Okay, so this time around, we got really lucky. We got fervor on the first time around, and we'll probably get a second one here, so got to keep going on this one. But we also got the light in the skull, and that's going to produce erudition. And erudition is required to get the lantern scar. And we have restlessness coming up. So this might all actually work out together. We'll find out in a moment. Keeping everything clear. Okay. And yeah, we're going to fail that, unfortunately. I'll put you out there in a second when I get it back. Boom. Right. Erudition, which is going to last another 180 seconds, which might be enough time. Put it in here. That's where I'll need it. In the meantime, got you... Oh, an ecstatic. For 3 minutes. We've got the fervor. We've got the ability to do this again, and we do not have to worry about that. Now, I need restlessness will appear shortly. Question. No, hang on. I'll have 60 seconds to generate it. I think what I'll do is I will start the process. No, let's wait until the restlessness is absolutely confirmed. Let's not try to be fancy here. In the meantime, we'll get rid of the sickness. There's the restlessness. It will take probably another 20 seconds to do so. So I think we could safe enough. There's a vitality I generated coming into use. And we'll be able to drop this in, use the health, get the doctrine of the lantern, because this is obviously a lantern influence, and drop in the fervor. Now, if I do this, I have 60 seconds to generate the necessary fervor. I mean, necessary restlessness. Boom, go. Yeah, 20 seconds, I was right. Okay, you go there. And boom, grabbed. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Because, yeah, there's Connie. 30 seconds. We're not going to make it in time unless... I'm going to have to change of address, which I will do. Where is it? Over here. As we should probably get a church anyways. Okay, so you'll generate both at the same time, but Connie will not be able to grab evidence immediately. This will come down to timing. Alright, boom. Now, first things first. Put in erudition, because the vision of the peacock. In the vision, we enter the second chamber by the rending of the wall, and it screams like a peacock level, if you recall, from the Mantis, but its blood is gold. That is the color of the glory. Basically, we are drinking the blood of the glory itself, which is either really transcendent or horrifically blasphemous. Possibly both. We pass in triumphant procession from cloudy shores to the bright quarters of the House of the Sun, and our mouths are opened that we might bear words, although at all births the youngest, aka first word, is a scream. That is also correct by older Gnostic lore, is that the first word spoken in all of creation was the birthing scream of the mother. Anyways, let's do that for health. Back. Yes, oldest Gnostic lore, the god is female. Okay, we have a mess here. But, like I said, what we will be able to do is take this... We don't have it yet, though. The notoriety will not generate for another 29 seconds. How long is Connie going to be looking at? Connie's going to get it. Oh, damn. We're going to have to kill the evidence, but we do have a level 10 moth people, so we should be able to do that. Meantime, let's do some exercise. You know, you got to stay in health while you're dissecting yourself for the greater God. Good. Something. All right. Let's see if we can grab the inspiration. We might only get a mystique from this. I'm not sure I want... Well, the mystique, if we do the mystique, we've got a 50-50 chance of Connie grabbing the mystique. Connie will grab the mystique first. Or do we want that? If we fail this... God, I got so much math going through my head. Okay, if we fail this, we don't get any additional... that. 45 seconds, we'll be producing possibly notoriety. I'm not sure. Let's fail this, because I can get fervor later at a better time. We don't want to have Connie getting evidence. So let's continue as is and fail to inspire this worshiper. Okay. Unfortunately, it's notoriety. We boned. We're going to have to get rid of evidence. It's okay. We got this. We got this. Oh, Connie is the worst. All right. Now, the vision of the peacock. The congregation had waited all night in the vigil. I am awake. My mouth has been conditioned to my cheek, although it was almost healed. Yeah, we have a Glasgow grin. Maybe a new agony to speak. It will heal. My speech will be renewed, but the scar will remain. Health has been currently converted. So we have the lantern lock scar. When I am threshold, the scar will open at the flush of dawn. And we got paid for it, which is really kind of messed up. But we have actually had people pay to see us devoured by a vampire. Literally, from every section of our flesh back in the Grail Apostle one. So, yeah, if you're in London, I guess there's some exotic style of entertainment. All right, so yeah, Connie, considering the evidence has no evidence, she will generate the level 1 evidence, which of course is problematic in its own way, but we don't have any fervor, which means that we're probably going to have to get rid of the evidence before I can actually move on to the next scar. Okay, so you've already seen me deal with evidence before. I won't have to show so, but let me deal with the problems, okay? Hang on. Okay, so still, all right, first of all, we managed to get rid of the evidence so Connie has on us, so that was a bit touch and go there for a moment. We almost had the damning evidence card because Connie is a bitch to work around. But in any case, what I'm going to show you what you can do with fervor if you don't have access to restlessness, because if I had it at restlessness right now, well, first of all, it is an influence. I can burn it off using one of the rites over there, or rituals, but the rites, yeah, right. The right is right. Anyways, no. The thing is, what you can do, can just use it for a standard. You know, it's the fervor card right there for a standard sermon. Prepare a sermon carefully for a fervent congregation. Is already in a state of excitement. Any secret knowledge or like them drive into exultation. Now, considering I have, well, I'm probably safe, so I probably could drop the fervor in, throw in reason, and do the whole thing again. You know, this should be able to cycle through the fervor and get through, because I believe it consumes it, but we'll be able to renew it in that fashion, kind of like using Sulichana's ability, but not taking up the talk icon. I really want to see how they turn out. Yes, my erratic. All right, so restlessness, good. If that fervor comes around again, we'll be able to get the next lock scar in place. And notice if I had left the fervor turn to dread, I got a dread trap active, which means I would have had that problem again. I really don't want to give way to cosmic dread. It's just not my style. Anyways, the fervor is spent. They have made, what have they made of this night? Fervor and lore almost always calls exaltation, but then keep up the fervor. There's the funds. And you notice we don't have the exaltation back. It was, I mean, the old one's back. We've consumed. And yes, I had to use the change of address, so we're now hanging out the church doing all this. Yeah, cool. Right out in public. You know, there are stranger services, I think. Anyways, inspiration in play. Let's see what happens. There's the restlessness. There's the fleeting reminiscence, which will be useful for the ghoul run in a bit. There. That. No fervor. Ooh, we're in trouble. And we got a notoriety as well. So all that means is now I gotta burn this off. And you are not a problem. So. Would you be so kind? Don't have to change address again so soon. Sorry about that, but it does at least point out to you how that fervor can be used in a non-lock scarry kind of way, which, you know, it's kind of iffy. Sometimes you get extra funds, they have a better chance of getting exaltation, but we failed this time, which is kind of suckage. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so this episode's getting kind of long, so I'm probably going to finish it here at the third scar. You notice we just opened up the exotic cravings restlessness generating event here, so we're going to only have our restlessness, and I've been using Sulichana to keep the fervor fresh, so we should be fine. In the meantime, let's deal with the next one. Fervor in place, heart to give our life to the cause, as it were. But this time around, we're going to just complete the trifecta of reason, passion, and heart, because obviously vitality is going to be the one that I want, and I've got a vitality long enough to last this far. And again, here we go. Let's start preaching the heart lore sermon, and we'll grab that as soon as it's generated to pass that test. And boom, there's our restlessness, and soon we'll be wanting our vitality. Let's see what this looks like for the for our third of our final set of sermons. Okay, boom. All right. The congregation is satisfied by my mortifications. The divine spark is absent. Boom. The vision of the pines. In the visions, the trees of the pines are lit by the fire, but the shadows of the dancers come and go in the zoetrope flicker. Hey, there's a spiral dancer in that crowd. With each stroke of the drum, I am freed from another slip of skin, but it's not St. Agnes who holds the knife. At the last I can bear no more, and from all the pent screams burst from me. Well, it sounds like he's having fun. Although I don't know. He's getting really into these scars. You notice our health is continuing to decline a bit here. Yeah. And how does it all end? Boom. Alright, the vision ends. My congregation has waited all night in the vigil. I am awake. The only wound I can see is the one above my heart, and this will heal in time. Oosh. Anyways, yep. Akhartsky. Remember, these are also tools we could use for rituals, but probably won't be. When I am threshold, the scar will open at the beat of a drum, and your heart will fall out. Great. And again, it was pretty good Vegas show, I guess. Yeah, that's 3. 3 of 7 down, plus whatever that was. It was probably more cash. Oh my god. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, I think we'll be leaving it there at the creepy show at the church. Oh my god. No, the thing is, it's not being shown as a show. This is literally an offering plate being all around as I'm dissecting my body for Eldritch, to transform into an Eldritch manor. No wonder the Suppression Bureau doesn't kind of thinks we're weird. Anyways, this is a fantastic world saying farewell from Lovecraft Country. And just let you know, if you like this, like, share, subscribe. If you really like it, down below are links to the Gumroad payment platform. You can become an initiate at $1 a month to get just access to bonus material and become a straight up cultist of the first circle for $2. And get early access to even more material. In any case, of course, this was unlocked at 450 subscribers, and we're currently barreling down on the 600 mark, which will be the second Exile run. In fact, let me check here. Analytics, yeah, 586. We're 14 away from that point. And as I stated, I really want to do these live, which means you will see, unfortunately, the sections I cut out, the ones that are long. So, but hey, I tend to think that I can have enough conversational ability to be able to fill in those gaps if you want to do this in real time. But to do so, I'm going to be switching ISBs shortly, probably within 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully that will be a thing. In any case, probably next episode will be last. I thought it'd be this one, but we've been getting really bad draws of the RNG for the restlessness I need and the fervor, and Connie giving me trouble is kind of all playing off each other. But we only have 4 scars left to go before I complete my transcendence, and then we'll see what we will see. And hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.